All right, we got sound now. Twisted Mopar, what's going on, man? Of course, I wasn't going to do it, but I decided I'll have one beer tonight. Believe it or not, with my name, seldom that I drink during the week. Not much, man. Just getting over the weekend. Call it hair of the dog, like I said. Not very often that I do it, but I can have one or two here and there. Mile wide. Gonna have another Louisville brewery, local stuff. Been mowing. I'm kind of sweaty too. Look at that, rain wet. I do drink beer in the garage on the weekend, and in the house, and several other places. Had a couple this weekend. A buddy of mine had his birthday, so I kind of took him out, had some lunch, and had a couple beers with him after. Spent quite a bit of time though working on Walter. I almost got it just complete. Well, complete-ish. They're never done. And that's a good beer though. What about everybody else? What did we get into this weekend? That's for sure. Probably should have spent a little more time getting my cab on the rotisserie this weekend. The beer, mile wide. It's Louisville. I've I don't know that I really enjoy beer, but what really got me into it was going to these local breweries and some of the stuff they do there. We had a friend that went with us this weekend, doesn't drink. He had as good a time as anybody. They're just really cool. The whole setup, seeing them, everything about them. So it's more than just the drinking when you go there. It really is. And some of them have pretty awesome restaurants. Some of the food, you wouldn't believe. So, any new projects for anybody this weekend? Yeah, me too. Put this up there if anybody's interested. It's I've done quite a bit of that to the Dakota, but it's full frame off, so it's just a frame doing all. I've got three 360s laying here and two Hemis, and I can't decide what to do with any of them. I should say 359s. They're not. They're the Magnums. So yeah. Again, I'm thinking. I don't know. The ones had a little bit of head work, but I don't know how much money I want to spend on the 5.9s. To be honest with you, I mean, by the time I spend the money to get the 408, I've got some Hemi money in them, and I'm starting out where I'm ending. So I did look at the one. I was thinking maybe taking the one I got here on the floor, see if I can find a carbureted M1, a little bit of cam in it, and then put a sniper and put it in Walter with that 4-speed. It's gotten more reasonable. I mean, you start looking at prices for the 5.9 stuff. If you can find it, it's almost as high now. I'm telling you, there's some stuff out there that nowadays it's starting to almost be reasonable to get. I mean, I can buy complete engine. I've been seeing them anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. That's used engines, complete engines, drop ins. You want to start playing with them? Yeah, it gets pretty expensive pretty quick, but like I said, if I got the stock Gen 3 Hemi and I got the 5.9, I'll be able to 408. They're going to be pretty comparable engines. Yeah, they're not cheap. They're everywhere. You can find them, but nobody makes anything for them. So you find somebody that makes something, they want you to pay them. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, they're a solid engine, but only so much aftermarket support. like I said, I was thinking maybe getting rid of the beer keg and putting a little cam in it and put a sniper system on top of it. Let it go. Let them stalk. Yeah, that the only problem with the 1800 with the trans is then you got another 1200 to spend with a controller for the trans if you don't have something to control it. I mean, I've got an Ag 1 sitting here, and I'm looking at $1,200 if I want to control it. So I can buy the transmission all day long for $200. So I'm thinking about selling it, and if I'm going to do that, I'd rather go find the 8-speed, which I can get about the same. But right now, I'm also considering one other option, and that's freshening up that slant 6 and maybe play a little turbo game. Hey, I get it. Dude, if you can do the 8-speed on a 440, that would probably be that 8-speed's an awesome transmission. I've got a 14 Ram with the 8-speed, and I'm gonna tell you, compare it to the 6, not even close. That 8-speed is phenomenal. Always in the right gear. And the one thing everybody likes to complain about is probably my favorite, and that's the dial shifter. I don't doubt that a bit. Like I said, it's an awesome trans. I think there's Facebook groups dedicated to about everything, though, good and bad. That 8-speed, that's a good trans at 8 HP, especially if you can find a 90. Exactly. It's and you know what, NSB, if you do that, you buy that $2,000 RT, and then you've also got the gas pedal, you got the shifter, you've got all the other stuff that comes with it, all your wiring harness, sensors, all that stuff that you don't think about. And that's where your money really gets into it when you start swapping something. I've got a 300 out front. That's what I bought it for. It's $1,000 and a starting point Hemi. I've got too many projects and not enough time. Because I've got one other thing that I'm swapping that's behind this wall, which I've had for several years, and finally got all the parts. I've just about got everything together. But I got an 86 CJ7, and I'm doing the unthinkable. I'm doing an LS swap. One at a time is all I got room for in my shop, man. That's if I had a bigger shop, I think I'd have 2 or 3 going. Never get any of them done. I did. So one of the projects on my YouTube was a guy bought an '85 CJ7, and it ran decent. I've got the Weber carbon off for it, which if I decided to get the intake for the Slant Six, that Weber carb's the same thing that they put on it. So it saved me a little money there. It's great, but we put that Stiper, that fuel injected, and I'm gonna tell you, man, that thing fires off. It's like a dream. I know some guys still like the carburetors. I'm leaving them in the past. Yeah, that's exactly why I've got so many. You run across a deal, it's just too good to pass up. Next thing you know, you've got 4 project cars sitting there. None of them are done. Oh, John Deere tractors. Yeah, you can't see it from where you're at, but I've got a flag down here. My family, we growing up, we had an Alice Chalmers dealership. We've had several of those. WDs with the Buddha engine, and or the WD or a 45. You know, we never owned a WD 45. You know, fully auto. There's a Duster in my backfield here that I'm not so sure a guy hadn't abandoned. It's been here over a year now, and tried helping the guy, but I'm gonna tell you, it may be for sale soon, and considering I can get a title for it. How would you? Let me see if let me see if I can get a title. Yeah, I'd be all about a trail duster. And like I said, you run into those deals that sound too good and you end up buying other ones. I didn't go look at it. I waited for the weekend. Of course, the guy sold it before I got to it, but the guy had a 73 D150, or there's a D truck. I don't know if it was a 100 or 150. And then he had a really rough bodied Power Wagon, 78, I think. Both of them, engines and all in them. He wanted $1,000 for both of them. And he said the 73 was supposed to have a super solid body. Nice. You got was it 727 in it? Or is it a later model, 46 or whatever. Or 904, I guess. Okay. 518 was the same as what the 904, right? Just I don't know. There's so many numbers I can't keep them all straight, man. Yeah. I don't know that there is anything. Okay. So basically, it's the same as the 727, but the newer, the 46s kind of took their space too. A lot of the internals are, I don't know. Again, it's automatics are too much. Yeah, I'm with you on the satellite. I like, we had actually, that's one of the first cars I really remember was my mom had a 69 satellite that they had bought brand new. To this day, she still talks about that car. That was her favorite ever. Past 2 years, money's been tighter for everybody. I don't know how the hell anybody's doing it. You have to buy groceries. Damn, man. I guess there's a few guys that have a live here tonight. I was over at Auto Salvage Outlaws before this one, and I think 6%'s got one coming up at 7 or at 8. Or no, he had one at 6, didn't he? Huh. Yeah. Yeah, $100, man. That's a couple bags. A couple bags of groceries or 2 dozen eggs. Okay. Yeah, I saw his ad. It was 6 Central, 7, so he should have been in about an hour and a half now. So should always trying to find a spot to kind of slide in there, not step on everybody else's toes, but at the same time, and it's hard to. Yeah, I'm just kind of watching see what pops up where and try and go to them. I end up most lives I'll kind of put in here in the garage and put up on the TV and try and listen in or whatever while I'm working on something. So I'm the stalker most of the time, Colleen. Sometimes being a fly on the wall is not a bad thing. I was watching another channel today and he was doing beer reviews and he had the same basic setup that I got behind me. Yeah, internet's something until this year I didn't have much. On the last house before a set of railroad tracks. So the cable company told me, yeah, we'll put internet in for you for $15,000. That ain't happening. So I've had you know, broadband or 4G until recently. They had kind of a big push to put fiber to everyone. So now I have fiber. Now I've got good internet. That was a long time coming. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of 5G in the area where I'm at anyway. I mean, I'm right outside of town, but it's like just when we had for years a locally owned telephone company that had a cell phone company they owned. Um, Brandenburg Telephone Company was the name of it. It was the largest individually owned telephone company in the U.S. Well, recently they've decided to sell off their cell phone business, so Verizon took it over. Once Verizon took it over, it was like instead of calling and actually talking to a person, it's typical Verizon stuff, and it's been awful and it was horrible. Like I said, we were getting out from under that regardless. Have you looked at Starlink? Are you able to get it? Well, that's another thing I do is a little bit of RV travel, and people will talk about getting Starlink. It's made a big difference. What's going on, Tim? Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Everybody, appreciate everybody just being here, man. What got me started? What got me started is buying that old truck right there, which so I got my YouTube start like this. I had been watching for 2 years YouTube channels about RV travel, and I had almost made up my mind I wanted to start a travel. Going around, keeping track of where we'd been, filming the hikes are on, things like that. But somehow, and again, I'm not sure how it happened, we sold our diesel pusher RV and bought a smaller one, and I had to buy a truck to pull it. So when I bought that truck, my wife was like, "Well, you got to get rid of the 14 Ram." Well, I don't want to have to drive this diesel truck everywhere. And I saw Walter over here listed for 3,000. I said, "Well, I'll buy that as a project and I'll turn that into my daily. That way I don't have to drive my diesel everywhere." When I went to pick it up, the guy I bought it from, that's how he made a living. He has a YouTube channel, fairly popular guy. Uh, Greg Abarella. Bought the truck from him and decided, you know what? This is how I'm going to start it. So Road Beer Travels became Road Beer Garage, and here I am. And fully auto, I'll tell you, it's definitely different. I mean, you watch and you realize how hard it is to remember to film everything you're doing, and pretty daunting at times. Halfway through a project, you realize you didn't start filming, and what's even worse is then you have to edit the video. That's probably my least favorite part. What's happening? Tim, Mopar, Mustang, minivans. What you guys into tonight? Well, I'm done with it, but it was a mile wide linchpin New England IPA. City peer pressure. I had to have one beer. Not normal for me to drink through the week, but every now and then I'll have one or two. Got a vacation coming up before too long, man. It's actually, I'm gonna pull the camper to a local spot and just kind of work and camp in the evenings for a little while and kind of see how that goes. Good luck and my best to her. Hope everything turns out all right, Tim. So, guy we camp with all the time is actually going through treatment for colon cancer himself. He caught it very early, and we keep him camping when he's got the energy, so he keeps his mind off the stuff. It seems to help him. Yeah, Mopar Mustangs and it was actually a really really good beer. So I'm kind of a sucker for New England IPAs, so anybody ever had an issue with a title? This is an odd one. Title or truck. Walter here. When I got it, I went to have an inspection done, and the VIN on the title and the VIN on the truck were off by one number. There was a 6 and an 8 transposed, which I forget which one I had. I think it's a 6 on the truck and 8 on the title. So, done a little research. It seems it's not uncommon, but basically it's been that way since the truck's been new. hopefully I'll take it in and have another inspection done, and they just won't notice it. If not, then I'm going to have to send back to New Mexico and see about getting the title corrected. Yeah, I've done, like I said, I've done some research. I just wondered if anybody else had ever had to deal with it. It's like I said, once I started researching it, it came out that it was not that uncommon to see happen, especially just the one letter off. A lot of handwritten stuff back then, and had somebody reading it. They a 6 and an 8. Next thing you know, it's handwritten. They're typing it up, and I'm hearing it's no big deal, but at the same time, it's just one more friggin' hoop to jump through. All right. Well, 7 trips. Oh yeah. Yeah. The only good thing I've got is my wife works at City Hall, so she can actually call over and say, "Hey, how's the line?" and just walk over. So got a little bit to going for me there. If let her do it. I mean, the DMV is like the absolute worst thing. It's controlled by the government, so there's absolutely no need for them to try and be better. You're trapped. You can't go anywhere else. Guys, I tell you what, I think I have got to get inside and get something to eat and get the dogs fed. I want to say thanks to everybody that came out tonight, man. So I'm going to go ahead and get off here. All right. I will get it planned again, Colleen, for next week. Tim, again, best to your wife. Hopefully it all works out. Thinking of you. Thinking of the two of you. But guys, thanks for tonight. Hopefully we'll see you next Monday night, right? Later.